The Galactic Challenge. Standing taller than the delegates of the lesser species, the Galactic Council occupied their magnificent chamber. The blue and green planet floated in the holographic projection, Earth. The Emperor's eyes narrowed as he glared at it. In the opinion of the assembled leaders, Earth was a joke, diminutive in size, outdated in technology, just a primitive rock spinning in the void. The Emperor's tone was filled with contempt as he introduced the newest race to plead for acceptance in the galaxy. A wave of laughter echoed through the chamber. The idea that these primitives could leave their atmosphere and believed they deserved attention, it was hilarious. Laughter echoed from creatures that had long since outgrown concerns like material resources or planetary defenses. But Earth asked for peace. One of the counselors smirked, unable to hide his grin as if peace was somehow threatening. The Emperor leaned forward, lips curled into a grimace. They would avoid the peace Earth offered. Earth's fate was unavoidable. In their eyes, the planet was but a dust particle in the vastness of the Empire. There was no need for discussion. Earth would be subdued, assimilated, crushed beneath the heel of the Empire's might. A single fleet would be sent as a demonstration. The leaders agreed. It would be simple conquest, no more conversation. The meeting concluded swiftly. Earth was an unimportant backwater world that would collapse without resistance. The galactic fleet was summoned. Soon the skies over Earth would darken. As the council departed, the Emperor turned to one of his top officials to ensure the message was clear. Dispatch the fleet, I want their leaders pleading for mercy, on their knees. The commander bowed. In their eyes, Earth's fate is sealed, Your Excellency. They believe there is nothing Earth could do. Their superior technology, their ships, their weapons, they are unmatched. The interstellar fleet departed within days. The humans were ridiculous. Armed with shields and weapons capable of resisting any known attack, the warships moved toward the tiny blue planet. The Empire's rulers didn't even bother to monitor the campaign. To them, Earth was already conquered. They broadcast messages across the stars, mocking Earth's people, warning them to surrender. Any resistance will be futile, they said. From the safety of his throne, the Emperor grinned. He expected surrender, groveling fear. That was the only probable outcome. But the galactic leaders had made a grave mistake. They had underestimated Earth. They dismissed its people as weak. They ignored the signs. They didn't know that Earth had been preparing. Humanity's defenses were more advanced than they appeared. They lacked numbers, yes. They lacked galactic technology, true, but they had something the Empire didn't account for: ingenuity, determination, and a secret weapon. It was not brute strength. It was creativity, resolve, and brilliant minds. As the fleet approached, they had no idea. They were walking into a trap. The leaders of Earth had not been caught off guard. They had long known this moment could come. They had watched other worlds fall. But Earth was different. In a hidden facility far from the public eye, the best minds on the planet had worked on a secret project. It wasn't just a defense system. It was a revolution led by Dr. Rohr, a once ridiculed scientist with bold ideas and relentless belief. This project fused cutting-edge human science with deep experimental physics, a system no other species had ever deployed. As the final preparations began, Rohr stood in the control room. Satellites, missiles, visible decoys, those were distractions. The true weapon was buried deep beneath the surface. Its name was the Lance. It wasn't made to fight a war, it was made to end one. It operated on quantum principles, targeting a precise point in space with devastating energy. Simple, precise, devastating. The target, the flagship of the Galactic Fleet, centerpiece of the Armada and seat of its command. Rohr gave the final order, the Lance fired, a moment of silence, then a burst of light. The pride of the Galactic Empire vanished. The missile struck the flagship's core, bypassing every defense. In seconds, the command ship was gone. Earth fell silent. The galaxy fell silent. Even those who expected this outcome were stunned. They had done it. Dr. Rohr allowed himself the smallest smile. More than victory, it was a message. Earth was not weak. Humanity was not helpless. The Empire had underestimated them, and now they would pay. The rest of the fleet fell into disarray. No orders, no leadership, no plan. Some ships began to retreat, afraid of what else Earth had hidden. Others pressed on, too proud or too afraid to appear weak. But the damage was done. Earth struck again, targeted, coordinated, and precise. Not brute force, strategy, skill. Alien warships, once symbols of dominance, now fell like debris into Earth's atmosphere. The Galactic Empire had met its match, and it hadn't expected to. The battle was far from over. But in that moment, one truth became clear. Humanity would not kneel, not now, not ever. Earth could handle the issue. Humanity had demonstrated its resilience, strength, and capacity for adaptation. Although the future was uncertain, Earth felt hopeful for the first time in a long while. People on Earth celebrated when word of the victory spread. The invasion had been avoided. Their world was temporarily safe, but the battle's actual effects would be felt throughout the galaxy, even beyond Earth's atmosphere. As news of the Galactic Fleet defeat spread, whispers of revolt became stronger. Some planets that once dreaded the Empire began to doubt its might. Once confident in their superiority, the galactic leaders now confronted a dilemma unlike any they had ever encountered. Their adversaries had always been other species and empires who used brute force, but Earth was different. The humans fought with a shrewdness and precision the Empire had never seen. It was a new form of conflict, one the Empire was unprepared for. And as Earth celebrated its victory, the Galactic Empire began preparing its counterattack. They would not let this loss stand. They would return stronger, smarter, and far more dangerous. For now, Earth stood. The galactic leaders' position in the galaxy was permanently altered by their defeat. They had ridiculed Earth's defenses but now realized that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. Never before had the Galactic Empire suffered such humiliation. The loss of their flagship fleet and Earth's surprising resistance sent shock waves through the highest echelons of power. In the days following the battle, the leaders of the Empire were forced to face a reality they had never imagined. They had ruled with an iron fist for millennia, smashing any who stood against them. But they had never encountered a real challenger, certainly not from a planet they had considered insignificant. On Earth, the triumph brought relief but also a sobering clarity. The authorities knew the Empire would return. Humanity had bought itself time, but not much. When the Empire came back, they wouldn't be surprised again. Earth's element of surprise, its greatest advantage, was gone. At the underground command center where the lance had been fired, Dr. Rohr and his colleagues worked tirelessly. They were already analyzing battle data, preparing for the inevitable second wave. The weapon had worked flawlessly once, but they couldn't depend on it alone next time. Earth would need more than a single powerful weapon. The next onslaught would be different. Everyone asked the same question as Earth's leaders convened: how could they get ready? The battle had been won, but the war, the rebirth of the Empire, was far from over. The Galactic Empire would reorganize. Their next strike would be ruthless and deliberate. Earth's commanders knew they couldn't match the Empire ship for ship or gun for gun, not in brute strength but in strategy. That was a different story. They had to use their ingenuity and their creativity. Flexibility and the element of surprise had worked once, but the next battle would require more. Rohr's team had to think beyond conventional warfare. They had to fight in ways the Empire could not predict. The lance was only one piece of a larger defense strategy. Smaller, mobile strike teams would now be deployed, able to hit where it hurt. Earth's brightest engineers and scientists worked non-stop. New technology, smarter systems, better tactics. The goal wasn't just survival anymore. It was to show the galaxy Earth would not be defeated. Meanwhile, the Galactic Empire was in disarray. The once invincible armor now showed cracks. Across the galaxy, long subjugated worlds saw Earth's victory and began to believe. Resistance was possible. Small uprisings flared in several systems. The Empire was forced to shift resources to keep its rulers in power. Once so certain of their dominance, the Empire now faced a terrifying prospect: full-scale rebellion. But the Emperor remained obsessed. His pride had been wounded. He would not let Earth's defiance stand. He ordered the immediate construction of a second fleet twice the size of the first, equipped with the most advanced technology the Empire possessed. This time, Earth would be shown no mercy. It would be reduced to rubble, its people made into a warning for the rest of the galaxy. At the underground facility, Rohr and his team raced against time. They developed new technologies, reconfigured their strategies, and yet, amidst the pressure, there was calm. They had faced the impossible before and won. They could do it again. Because Earth's greatest strength wasn't just its technology, it was its determination, its will to survive. The Empire always believed in brute force. But Earth, it believed in adaptation, intelligence.